Will motorcycle prices decrease in 2023? In the last few years, perhaps starting from the outbreak of the C0rona Pandemic, those who want to acquire a decent chopper in the current market have been left stunned by the soaring prices of these motorcycles. Although we can stand and gawk at the shocking price of a powerful hog or a simple scooter, whatever your speed might be, we actually cannot be surprised by this. After all, several factors, like the ongoing worldwide recession, the inflation that has caused, plus the energy crisis taking place right now due to the war between Russia and Ukraine, among other considerable factors, has created an economic climate that most of the world is trying to endure. As such, one can only ask how long this surge in the cost of new or used motorcycles will remain so high. That being said, there are whispers creeping up and down the grapevines that there might be some positive developments in terms of the cost of motorcycles in the coming year. In this video, we'll take a look at how these factors we've mentioned caused this rise in the prices of bikes and see if truly ever there will be a decrease in the prices of motorcycles. Like I said before, the rise in prices of motorcycles should come as no surprise, despite the fact that the demand for them may arguably be more now than ever before. The rise of the utility of motorcycles in certain industries, such as deliveries and logistics worldwide, coupled with the traditional allure of a chopper or a dirt bike, has seen an increase in demand. Unfortunately, the demand for the bikes seems to have occurred at a time when the prices of motorcycles is experiencing a surge that is putting motorcycle lovers off. What could have caused this? First off, it's not news that there is a worldwide recession going on at the moment. The war between Russia and Ukraine has exacerbated the conditions of this recession that has caused an inflation in the prices of everyday items, such as oil in particular, food, health and transport, among other things. Unsurprisingly, this has brought about an increase in the cost of obtaining a motorcycle, either through cash purchase or some kind of payment deal, like a PCP, whose interest rates have increased from 0.25% to 1.25% over the last year. This has made the purchase of new bikes an especially expensive affair, and that's even without considering the effects of the cost of manufacturing bikes, let alone selling the bikes themselves. Along with the socio-political and economic problems that have made money a troublesome subject, there's also the issue of the scarcity of some parts of the machine, like semiconductor chips, which are an integral part of any vehicle's electronic system, which have caused a shortage in the production of new vehicles. Secondly, the inflation has also coincided with devaluation of the global value of money. As we all might know, the value of the dollar is quite uncertain at the moment, despite still gaining value against the pound sterling, which has been the standard for many years and is now facing troubles of its own due to the recently tumultuous political climate. It's fair to say that both conditions do not help the price of bikes, as the cost of production of these machines are now being passed on to the everyday consumer, just looking to zoom past traffic on their speedsters. Although some would have thought they could turn to second-hand motorcycles to perhaps make the most of what they've got, it becomes discouraging to learn that this may not necessarily be an option, as the costly expense of brand new bikes has also served to expose the shortage of used motorcycles, which has also driven up their prices. Nonetheless, it cannot be ignored that this might be good news for people who already own bikes, because there is still value in them, which could be used to trade for new ones. Anyone able to achieve this may see the benefit in that a new bike in today's market is likely to depreciate as much as it would have a few years ago. Still, it's difficult to tell things will settle, especially with the end of the ongoing war at the eastern end of Europe having no end in sight, and the fact that things just seem to get worse economically. However, there might be an ace in the sleeve of anyone willing to think out of the box a little. As we all know, most of the planet is trying to go green, with many initiatives targeting the transition away from fossil fuel vehicles. As such, any vehicle that does not meet the Euro 5 emissions limits, for example, is surely going to take a knock in value, as dealers are doing their best to sell any vehicles that may need to be accounted for by the end of 2022. As you can imagine, it might not be so difficult to take advantage of this loop in the system, especially if you're into classic gas-guzzling bikes like a Harley-Davidson or something. That being said, we must take notice of the fact that the end of this hike in price isn't actually around the corner. Some things need to occur before the market settles, which will therefore give us a break from the soaring prices. However, that break is still not as close as we wish it to be, with quite a few experts estimating that the scarcity of semiconductor chips, the poor state of the global economy, and the energy crisis will carry on well into next year, thereby meaning that it may take up to 2024 or 2025 for the market to settle back to its normal and perhaps more affordable state. Till then, take good care of your bikes. You might not be able to get a new one at an affordable price for a while.